right, welcome back, everyone. It is Shalonda, and I'm back. Um, there's a part here. I don't know why the book was back in the book of Acts when I came back here. In Acts 17, when we're just in Revelation 17. So I don't know. Maybe it's a sign. I don't know. Maybe the wind blew the pages or something. But you know, I don't know. There was something that was just standing out here, and I'm just gonna do something quick on it. Just look at it really quick. Um, Now I'm gonna go back up to 25. I hadn't looked at it yet, but I'm noticing that it says something about around midnight. So when I look for those kind of details, I kind of look at the things that I've seen, witnessed, noticed, or like that has been calling me, or you know what I'm saying. I kind of just look to the light to see what we may be talking about. So again, um, these terms in this day and age can mean anything. As far as someone going to prison, that could be a mental prison, it could be spiritual prison, it could be prison. You know what I'm saying? It could just be taken and locked up somewhere. You know, we could be talking, there's a lot of things going on with military, there's a lot of things going on with the FBI and all these things, so you really never know what this jailing could be. It could be questioning, you know, someone, taking someone in to question them, okay? So again, this is 17 and 25 in the book of Acts, and it says, around midnight, as Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to the Lord, and the other prisoners were listening. Suddenly there was a great earthquake. The prison was shaken to its foundation. All the doors flew open, and the chains of every prisoner fell off. The jailers wakened to see the prison doors open, wide open, and assumed that the prisoners had escaped. He drew his sword to kill himself. Okay. So again, I don't know. This, you know, this makes me think about something like a heroic act or something that someone would do. But again, just this whole thing about prisoners and stuff like that, because you know, this world is very tricky, and that's why it's hard being somebody that is in a certain position, right? You know, I don't like the fact that people are using personal information in order to interpret or to connect or have meetings with people. I feel like, again, this, it's a hard way to explain it, but I feel like, again, people are taking things that we're saying on our personal profiles in our personal time and judging them, or using them to judge us in a way, or to use it as a narrative as to like they're having a conversation with us. And I think that this whole thing, there's so much confusion here because people just won't step up and say who the actual people are that they need to be having conversations with. They won't, you know, we're dealing with too many third parties and too many different energies, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to, you know, this governing construct. And again, those of us who have been born as certain heirs, where again, it's always been that way, where there's other energies that are acting in the place of some of us that are royals that are in the lower caste or class. So you hold the blood, you hold the power. Even in that book, The Spring, it was just saying something about how they were saying that it's true that the true essence of things relies in the they rely on the, for the true essence of things, or the, I'm gonna have to go get the book in a second because I wanted to read it to you guys, because it was talking about psychiatry, psychological things, about gifts, and like hypnotizing and stuff like that, and like the research that was even going on way back then in the 1900s, early 1900s. So you know, it's kind of like how I'm saying the same thing, that we are just the scapegoats if needed, or we are that, I won't even say overcast, we should be, but I'm just, they keep us, matter of fact, under. And again, like I said, I think that there are certain ways that certain beings on this planet or not, right, have access to the chattel or cattle. And it doesn't matter what you have on your documents or anything like that. It's just, I feel that there are beings that have access to certain beings due to bloodline, heraldry, lineage, and things like this. And they get a true sense of things from us that are blocked from even us realizing, because we've been so separated from ourselves and standing in our full power and a sense of knowing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So a certain intellect, something when it comes to the pineal, something when it comes to your corona or your crown. So again, I feel like that's just what the case is, but it's never going to be talked about publicly. So again, I feel like what I'm doing, being able to see, being somewhat of a kind of like, I don't know, a sharp shooter. Like when these people speak, I know there's legalese, and I know there's different, tactics of using. Again, we have the Black Law Dictionary, where definitions are totally different sometimes than it is in the actual dictionary. You know what I'm saying? And then we have etymology. So again, I feel like they know over years, they are professional at knowing exactly what they're saying. But because we have been miseducated, we don't realize what's being said in front of us, and that can cause people to agree to certain things that you really have no idea. So again, just to put it in layman's terms like that, okay? So again, an earthquake, that could be something that could be like a devastating blow, you know what I'm saying, coming from the earth, right? Vocally, right? In a spiritual, us meditating and using our energy in a certain way. Whether it's triggered by actions of these particular individuals in high places or hidden places, right? But it's to bring something out and make you look some kind of way, or make you behave in a certain fashion. Even when we know about certain things when it comes to supposed like adrenochrome and different things that are receptors and things that are triggered when people are in fear of things. And so again, you just wonder, because we are in a time, I feel, of harvest, exile. I mean, we in a flood, we are in a time of all these things. So again, and it's hard sometimes when I know who the energies are, but then when they start to show up, I'm in other energies in the biblical text, like when it comes to Apollos and Paul and Silas, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm trying to separate them as to who the souls are that I've communicated with or been in commune with some kind of way, under a different alias or a different name. You see what I'm saying? Like when we're talking about wisdom would have come in the form of many of these goddesses that have come over time. She would have came in, just regular everyday people. Like I feel me today can connect and channel that energy. But again, that's what then when you're dealing with the Akashic records, it's bringing up a lot of stuff that this science and stuff cannot explain it. Even if they did, they don't want to let you know about it. Okay, so like I said, so when it comes to Paul in Apollos and people like this, I feel like I see their energy in some of the divine masculine energies that I've connected to in a sense sometimes, right? Okay, so so again, with these messages, everything is not going to be exact. There may be only like a big chunk that people can actually take and decipher what I'm actually really saying. But it's supposed to kind of resonate, and maybe later on when you think about that one thing, then you think about something else, and then you're able to take it and put it all together, you know what I'm saying, and see what it's saying. And it's just like, I don't know, it's like a beautiful thing. I mean, I guess if you're curious as to the way the mind works and things like that in psychology, I don't know, I guess it would just be something that was interesting to those who see it that way. So, but then if you just want to start, like I said, with basic etymology, it opens up many doors. Okay. So again, it's talking about, there was an earthquake. So again, that may be something like tumultuous, even coming from the mouth of one of us, you know what I'm saying? And it could also be, a literal earthquake. It could be some kind of, not a riot, but some kind of, type of group that is causing what they would call some kind of strife or something, right? In the multitudes, right? Really making some noise about something. So again, the prison was shaken to its foundation. All the doors flew open. So again, I think that also it could be also symbolic for someone trying to say, like when you talk a lot because you have to explain things, excuse me, I think people take everything you say literal, and as you're saying it as it's factual. Well, on this channel, we're just trying to get a sense of understanding. So, I think that they're trying to find any kind of thing that you say in order to say, okay, we can use that. And then that means that these people, you know what I'm saying? Because it kind of seems like somebody taking back their plea, or taking back their mm, going back on a statement or saying something that means that something was justified. So I feel like people are hanging on to your every word so that they can say, well, oh, it seems like this, so this shouldn't happen. It's just a sick thing. But what I'm saying, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. So you're not even aware that certain things are going on, right? And so you may be, like I may be making a legit plea about something here. But something I said a month ago or something I might say tomorrow may make people use that and then automatically think that I'm not really wanting to pursue whatever it was that I was, that we were addressing. Y'all don't know. Okay, we'll just leave it there. It's kind of like you're in court. And think about that, a royal court, right? So again, every time this kind of stuff happens and it's in a disarray because I'm not really talking to them, but they listen to me, and I'm not really talking about what they talking about, but they can use what I'm saying to try to, you see what I'm saying, build some kind of case or build something. And it's just like, I'm just like, enough is enough. This is my personal page. This is something that I've already had up before I even knew any of this stuff was going on. And, we just share thoughts on here. Okay. And some of the stuff is legit, and some people may see it, and some stuff may not be seen, or felt, or somebody may feel or see or sense something that I'm saying 2-3 years from now. You see what I'm saying? So it's just that way. So again, it seemed like some people got freed from something. Okay. So again, they were assuming that they had escaped, and he drew his sword to kill himself. Okay. So again, that kind of makes me think about like somebody wanting to commit suicide because they thought somebody had escaped, and they're supposed to keep an eye. Could you imagine if you're supposed to keep an eye on someone and you're dealing with a treacherous group of people, and then you let that person escape? Sometimes it's like somebody might feel like you might as well just go ahead and kill yourself if you let that happen, because whoever you're gonna have to answer to might be I don't know. So I don't know, I just get that energy. He drew a sword to kill himself, but Paul yelled at him, "Don't do it. We are all here." Trembling with fear, the jailer called for lights and ran to the dungeon and fell down before Paul and Silas. He brought them out and begged them, "Sirs, what must I do to be saved?" They replied, "Believe in the Lord Jesus, and you will be saved in your entire household." Then they told him and all the household the good news from the Lord that same hour, and washed their stripes. So I don't know exactly what this is talking about. I don't know, something just made me wanted to read it. He and his family were baptized, and then he brought them up in the household and rejoiced and all. So again, it's making and that's what I'm saying, just using the energy from this information and what is the thought that is triggering. It's almost like people are like using unjust ways to free criminals or from crimes that have been done, or even just to to keep people from blessings or positions, that they're supposed to be in right now, serving, and so I just think that just, I don't know, this is just what I get from it, just like on just a surface level, right? And then just even about the people being jailed and stuff like that, like people are being improperly imprisoned, whether it's a mental slavery or whether it is a physical slavery. Mental prison or physical prison, or again, blocking your blessings or blocking your energy, or you see what I'm saying? There's so many ways. Blocking, keeping you very distracted so that you can't prosper in other areas. Even, I just think that, again, we have to just be careful in these times. And there's a lot of things that are transmitting energy that are in communities and stuff now, at stoplights and in centers of cities. There's strange things that are going up all the time, and you just have to wonder what kind of signals these things can be, and what kind of receptors in the brain and things like that can be affected by these type of things. Okay. And then you even have other energies that know who you are. So again, they can trigger things in your subconscious or in the sleep realm, and then have you act on those things. You know what I'm saying? So again, some of us are not being protected in that way. You may be being protected by source, but there's little leaks and ways that people can get into your mental in order to cause you to do. So that's why I'm just very careful. I don't know. And that's why I like to correlate and bring things into the text, history, what's going on now, etymology. That's why I like to layer things so that we can make sure that we're having some kind of reference or some kind of witness to whatever we're saying. Because it can't just be me just saying what I'm saying. That's why it's good to bring out the cards and all these things just to kind of put on layers like you're doing a cake, yeah. Because, and then you have a lot of energy. Like I said, I've dealt with a lot of energy that comes in one way, is that way. And then sometimes, like I said, other things can happen, other movements are going on, and then that energy can change. And so that's why I feel like I'm really good at not really holding on to things that don't want to be held, because, I've had to, when this first started, like almost a year ago, it was hard. Even a couple months back, it was hard because I was just like, it's like a cat getting a new toy, or a cat to catnip. I mean, not to say it in that sense. I'm not trying to sound ingenuine, but I'm just saying it was just that, because I was just like, what? I'm just listening. I'm just saying. I'm just like, what in the hell? Did I really just hear that? Did I see that? Is this really going on? So it was more like a shock kind of factor or whatever. Okay, so I just want to go down to this part right here where it says, then they told him and all his household the good news from the Lord. Okay, so this is not news from God, but it's the news from the Lord. In the same hour they washed their stripes. Okay, so again, this is making me think about like even different types of things that are just washing your stripes. Makes me think about just like somebody's wiping a slate clean, or removing something symbolically of nationality or something from something. I don't know, that's just what I'm getting here. Okay. And then again, they were all believers. But it says the next morning the judges sent police officers over to tell the jailer. Okay. Now again, remember, police officers, when we look that up in etymology, that can also be, people that are speak about political things, actually protectors or something, protectors and projectors of certain information within the community. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that somebody that has a badge and a shield and works for the police department. So again, when we're talking about defund the police, it's just, you got to be very careful, because is it talking about the police stations because they amped up and anteed up on the gear? You know what I'm saying? They didn't went all out with the gear that they have. So again, were they really defunded, or did, you know what I'm saying? Or are we talking about not funding or not supporting even people that are speaking politically, in a sense? You know what I'm saying? They're ringing the alarm, the town criers. You see, that kind of energy. Okay. So, into the house and set a meal before him. Okay. Now, that meal just made me think about a snack. I don't know why. It just, you know what kind of snack I'm talking about. Okay, y'all, I just have a different way of seeing it, and I'm just open with it. Source seem to be, okay with the way we do it on here, and this is what I'm just saying just came to mind. Okay. Somebody just got a jail and somebody brought the snack or the meal or whatever, right? How he and his household rejoiced because all were now believers. Okay, and next one, the judge said, police officers tell the jailer. Okay, so again, even think about that. Like if somebody is in a mental prison, or and sometimes I think that it must have something to do with not really wanting to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes for me, at some point in times, it was like I just was uninterested, or sometimes it was just like in fear, like because I felt energy like watching me. So it took me some while to resonate and for it to resonate and to see what kind of energy is watching, why, but you're protected, but like I said, so it took me a while, and just really being uninterested, or even being very sensitive, empaths and things like that when you go out in public. A lot of people like to talk to me randomly in public and stuff like that, and I never had a problem, and they just enjoy talking to me, and I enjoy talking to them. You know what I'm saying? But you just be like and I used to just be in stores and stuff for hours and hours. I used to coupon and stuff like that, and just be in there for hours, and it's like Now when I go to the store, but I used to like to spend a lot of money too. Okay, well, stop. But now when I go into a store or something, I just go right to what I'm getting and getting out. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel no kind of whatever about it. I don't feel no kind of anxiety or anything about it. It's just like it's just a direct kind of thing or whatever. So again, because we're trying to just correlate with this with different energy that's going on right now. Okay, there's really not even no plot or nothing that I'm seeing all the way here. Okay, but this part right here. Okay. So the jailer told Paul that we were free to leave. Okay. So again, like I said, that's just some weird energy right there, though, right? Because I feel like I told y'all, I just that whole luring energy or whatever, as if somebody is waiting on me to get like an understanding of a meeting or something, but nobody's giving any like real detail. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird. It's just so weird. And so it's just been kind of worrying me that is because I'm very inquisitive, right? So it's just been worrying me if somebody is trying to use a divine masculine or even his energy to lure me in, like I said, and using him as the bait, and it's actually going to be someone else there, because I did have this vision or this download a while back that there was going to be something that went on with, again, a divine masculine finally when you meet like in the 3D or whatever, but they're gonna but it's like you're gonna realize it was somebody else. You see what I'm saying? That whole time. So it makes me think about an energy as if somebody was there. Something may have happened to them, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe there was just like a separation in some other way. But it's like somebody else is trying to fill that void right now. And the reason why I'm kind of like this right now is because I'm not sure if that's what it is. So again, I'm afraid to even express myself or even speak or even lean into the energy like I used to, because I don't want, what I'm saying? I feel like people are trying to now at this point latch any old energy to me instead of someone of my same level, whatever level that will be. Okay. And I feel that energy. I feel like somebody is trying to, because of political reason or because of differences or something like that. I really do think, okay? So that's just what I think, that someone is trying, regardless of how it is, even if it's someone that has moved, has moved on, I'm fine with that. So I'm just like documenting how I feel about these things as we go along. But the whole thing is, the thing that would make me angry would not be someone walking away because they're happy somewhere else. Because if that's the case, I'm happy if you're happy. The thing would be someone trying to now mount or sire or link someone else to my energy without my permission, which I feel like that is abusive. And for me, that's a pet peeve, feeling like that when it comes to energy. I need to be in full control. I'm not just anybody, and I don't want anybody just trying to link or, put anybody's energy on me. I don't want that. So it's upsetting because it's like, how do you go to court? I guess you got to take it to the celestial realm, you know what I'm saying? Or take it to God, in that sense. Because I feel like some of us are women are, well sought after, and maybe it's because of the different lifetimes and things that we have been in contact with different energies, and it comes to a point where I feel like when it comes to divine masculines, they have a little, just like men, just like boys. When boys are young, they get a little bit more freedom. They can leave, ride their bikes, and go. They 10 years old, they can go across town and go hang with their friends at the basketball court. But when it comes to girls, what? Mama said you got to stay close to the house. She don't even want you playing around on the side of the house. What you doing? So it's just like that. It's just that energy. Okay. So yeah, and so I feel like it's the same thing when it comes to the celestial realm, or when we're talking about this whole energy of the royal oats, because the boys get to go and play hard and the girls have to slay and stay, you know what I'm saying? Right. Or just be there as a nourishing, nurturing something energy. Okay, right? Most times, all right? Or the bear children, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see. Oh yeah, and then for me too, I've always had to deal with this kind of thing of, like someone may be trying to sabotage, okay, maybe even wanting to move away, right? But just keep, and maybe some divine feminines can attest to this, and keep you in a certain situation where they've already kind of like had you some kind of way where you or have sabotaged even your or something, so that no one else, other people will be kind of timid about approaching. You see what I'm saying? And then it's just like at the end of the day, it's like, and then is it to the point where they can access your energy because you're just there now in this zone, right? Even in like a friend zone, right? But again, do they still have access to your energy? You see? While building a foundation somewhere else. Like, I wonder about things like that. I do. I'm weird because I just be in them dimensions. That's what I'm saying. I just sit here and I know that it's a parallel kind of energy and universe going on right now. And again, everybody won't understand that. But I try to, like, when I go into something, I like to go deep into it. I like to try to find out all aspects. And I think Source kind of blocks me from some stuff sometimes because I can get a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I just want to know. And it's just like that silence. Like, I like alone time. I really, really do. A lot of people think it's strange, but I just, like, even if the phone is ringing and I'm in deep thought, it's just going to be ringing. And I'm going to get it like hours later and be like, people be like, girl, where was you at? Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't get it. Because that's just how much I enjoy, like, being in that zone. So, all right. So again, it says, but Paul replied, oh no, they don't. Yeah. Oh no, they don't. They have publicly beaten us without trial and jailed us, and we are Roman citizens. So now they want us to leave secretly? See, sometimes I feel like Paul energy also even resonate in me, or that he might be, again, someone that I'm close to when it comes to this journey, rather it's in whatever realm, okay? Yeah, so now they want us to leave secretly. And so again, it says, never let them come themselves and release us. So again, that is like, whoo, you know what I'm saying? That like how we know that some people are stranded, right? And so it just makes me think about that whole energy of like, even with me, like it seems like there has been something set up, and I don't think it, listen, okay, this is what I'll tell you guys. It seems as though, you know how somebody they really don't want to do something, but they'll put up a little small attempt, don't really give you that, like, oh, do you want to come to my party? And it gets closer to the party, you keep asking what date it is, they don't tell you, you know what I'm saying? And then you have to kind of figure it out and guess, but then, maybe they'll tell you at the last minute, but then they forgot to give you a, look, and I promise I ain't talking about my best friend. I promise, it's just coming out this way. But, right? And so, it's going to make you notice that, or it's going to make you think some kind of way, right? Or it's just like, right? But we'll leave out small details about something, okay? And it may be by mistake, really, truly. And it might be something that people are doing on purpose, just to, again, like, this is what I feel like sometimes when it comes to whatever energies are going on around. I'm telling you that there's some kind of energy that is a tempting energy that does this, right? But it made me think about something I was saying the other day. Like, yeah, no, okay, now somebody want to talk or whatever. Okay, what does this mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does this mean? And it's just like, after all this stuff been done, so now that's the kind of like state I feel like it is when it comes to that so-called Afghan energy, that, or even when it comes to the divine masculine energy, and I know that there's supposed to be some kind of meeting sometime in the 3D, I feel. So it's almost like, okay, after all that trauma and after all those things and after all that stuff, okay, right? But once you've been through all that stuff, you're going to be somewhat like questionable or timid about the situation already. but it's almost like, ooh, like how they will be talking about there was a meeting or somebody addressed somebody, they wanted to have a meeting with them about the situation. Even when we're talking in the media, just earlier I was just listening to something, but the people didn't make an effort or they didn't get back. And it couldn't just be that nobody ever really addressed anybody, nobody ever really asked for anything, you know, a meeting or a real genuine face to face or a real, you know what I'm saying? Because again, it's just, I don't know. And I hate talking about it because I know a lot of people aren't there yet. But people can be acting as though they've asked you questions or did these things and they really never did. Or you just weren't aware, or you were answering a question about something else, but they used that in order to answer for something else. You see what I'm saying? I feel like for me, that's the kind of things, the tricky kind of stuff that be going on. I really do. I really do. And I think telepathically too, like, cause have you ever been sitting there and you was thinking about something and then you just going through it and you're like, hold on, no, I didn't want to say that. no, that ain't how I'm seeing it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like maybe it's just some of us that deal with this kind of push and pull kind of energy here. But that's just like me, like, you know, at this point, I don't know who I can trust. So who would I, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. And then as far as me having that energy, like we talked about a while back, of wanting to leave my home. Well, why would I leave? Well, if I leave here, then that means that I'm maybe forfeiting on something and so on and so forth or whatever. But then I might be in danger if I stay, but nobody's really giving any real answers. So I'm trying to listen to the spirit world realm. I'm trying to follow the signs and symbols. But sometimes, you know what I'm saying, I just, you know what I'm saying, I can't get it. And I don't know if it's just something that's just natural or a blockage or source just don't want to give it to me because it ain't for me. Or it's just a sign that that's something that I shouldn't be dealing with, right? Right? Because now I'm at a point where I've said too much. I've done these things. I know one thing, I'm safe here for some reason. Something tells me that even though things are getting pretty strange here, and sometimes I don't want to be here, right? You know, I don't. And so but it feels as though, yeah, it's hard to explain it to you guys. But that's it. Like, I kind of feel that whole energy, like, oh, they did this and that and that and that, and now they want us to, And it's kind of like that Ruth energy when we were reading in Ruth the other day. As though somebody's trying to get someone to go somewhere so they can cast them off or just cut them off or just leave them there. And like the abandonment is already, I feel, going on, like I said, when it comes to the Afghan issue and American citizens and all the other people. You know what I'm saying? That's already been done. But there must be some type of protection actually still, I feel, here or whatever realm is on. But as soon as you get up and start moving around, you know what I'm saying, especially if it's going to be a single woman, you know what I'm saying, that's just not the smartest thing in the world. And I think these people know that. And so I think that, again, even though I feel like Source is trying to lead me somewhere, trying to move me on a path, trying to move me physically away into something else, it's almost like if I move too far away from my destination now, my place now, that there's a cord or something that's going to snap. And then that will allow access to different kind of energy and different kind of something. Y'all get what I'm saying? In danger or putting me out, you know what I'm saying, to dry or whatever. Okay, maybe that explained it a little bit better. Okay. So again, for me to, like, even when it comes to Joan, was that her name? June, and Handmaid's Tale. I remember when she had, they wanted to see her, and they used, I can never remember his name, the dark-haired guy, that she ended up getting with and having the baby with. And they ended up bringing him in to bring her into the compound to get her to go to trial or be abused, whatever they did to her, because I haven't even finished watching the show this season. Okay? So it's kind of like sometimes I kind of get that energy. and they kind of just both knew that she was gonna have to go through with it, and I guess he didn't really want her to, but he had to be the one to bring her in. And so, like I said, the whole bait, but she kind of really wanted to see him because, the history and everything. So that's just how I feel. Okay. And at this point, things are changing because of outside influences, and it's pulling the energy further and further apart. And like, I feel sad, and I feel like I just can't hold on though, because I don't want to, nobody, there's no direct things anymore. It's kind of like, even I'm just watching the energy when they're talking about like the submarines and the French, and what I'm saying, them being upset about how, the United States has pulled out with workings with them, and it's just abrupt, and they're just like, what's going on? What I'm saying? So it's kind of, I feel that same energy when it comes to me looking at myself as America, right? Just questioning what's going on with that energy. But then over here, they're trying to build some other is it trilateral or try something energy with, out of nowhere, like, you know what I'm saying? And I guess it may be not out of nowhere, but I just pay attention to things like that. And it makes me go back into his story to see what's going on then, what's going on now, what's going on when it comes to the energy, when it comes to the biblical, because there's something there. There's something there. And again, I think that the guy that I was watching earlier was saying something about, is it like a spiteful thing? And again, it's the same thing I feel when it comes to the U.S. You see what I'm saying? About is some of this stuff spiteful? Because I feel like the ambassador issue deals a lot with a divine masculine energy, right? Because I just see the energy, so I can't put names to face. I can't put even on 3D any really. See, even in this realm, I don't even know if sometimes I'm dealing with other, energies from distant, or even from the underworld or whatever. Like I said, it just comes like with the wind. So again, it's always deeper. It's always different levels to it. It's always a perception of something and not. And so when I was looking at the whole thing about submarines, just to get this out of the way real quick, just in general, because I had some images I wanted to share with you guys. Okay, so I was looking at, because I'm like, submarines. We keep talking about why don't we just randomly talk about damn submarines? So, it goes back to a submarine boat, 1899. A creature living under the sea. Okay, so again, that could be, again, something that's underneath the sea, meaning underneath the waters. Because again, we were just talking the other day about how Yeshua, or I feel like my energy is able to walk above the waters. But of course, the waters have the so-called power right now, and they don't want to relinquish that to anybody. And so again, even though I know deep down in my heart, and I know that this is the energy I feel I'm getting from source, again, the world is not going to accept that. They're not going to like that. So again, at this point, the reason why I have to pull away from any divine masculine energy right now is because I feel source is telling me that anything could be a setup at this point. Because whatever information is being put out, they're using other individuals now with your information, with the copycat energy, right? The succubus energy. So they already have now full steam rolling this energy that I feel they have built a being to put into place, right? So again, now is at that time where this energy is getting annoying, and we actually want to get rid of it. So at this point in time, the reason and the main reason between my connection is distrust. It's betrayal. It's these type of energies dealing with these individuals on earth. Okay. So again, it says sandwich from, a type of sandwich. So even this is making me think about the Pacific, Sandwich Island, not Maori, Sandwich Island, Hawaii, all this kind of energy here. Even making me think about one of the horses of Revelations as well. Even some of the Pacific, like Philippine, I don't know, it's just making me think about that energy right now. Okay, so called from the shape of the roll. Okay. And it says move forward in WordNet down below. It says move forward or under in a sliding motion. And that made me think, hold on, why yeah, it just made me think like, mm, to move forward, right? Or under in a sliding motion, to throw with an underhand motion, bring down with a blow to the legs. So that whole thing about the leg or a pedestal or a phallus or just kind of that kind of energy, like a what is it called? Uh, you know what I'm saying? Column or something like that. So that just stuck out to me. Bring down with a blow to the legs, control a submarine, attack by a submarine. A large sandwich made of okay, so again, that's just talking about the sandwich or whatever. American. A submersible warship usually armed with torpedoes beneath the surface of the sea. Okay, so again, that made me think why earlier when we were doing that video, right? Okay, that made me think about, because I think when we get into chapter 17 or 18, which we're going to read next, is talking about the goblet. No, we already did it. I think in 16, or is it 17, with the whore of Babylon and holding the golden goblet. Oh, I'm still on Acts. See, we got to get to Revelations because that's where we was at. And you know, I just wanted to make that little kind of analogy with that, because this text in his Bible is like very widespread. So yeah, I think we did talk about the golden goblet, right? So, oh my goodness, it's getting dark now. I'm gonna have to go get my light thing. I don't know if y'all can see. So I was just looking at this because, you know, I just take in stuff or whatever. You know, take in imagery, right? This is like a crown or whatever, right? Okay, this is symbolic for something that goes with something that someone, you know, has as one of their emblems. Okay, it just so happens that this is the energy that we're looking at right now. Okay, and then I don't know. It made me. I was looking at like goblets and things like that, and then this thing right here. Now I know this is just probably just some kind of things somebody made or whatever, but it made me think about even I ended up clicking on this and thinking about how people used to wear bands like this on their arms, because on that picture in the tarot that we were looking at with the woman with that crown on, you know, it made me think about the band with the little it's not brads, that's scrapbooking, but you know them dang on things that be on people's couches and stuff, like the studs or whatever. Okay, but it made me think about like armbands and stuff that empresses and, you know, queens and stuff wore at one point in time, and then you wonder why, because you know, a lot of American Aborigines, again, some of these women, we seen them with these things on. So what does it really mean then, right? Was this where, you know, something like that happened? Is this symbolic for like decrowning someone or something like that? It's just all I'm thinking. So then I looked at this image right here of a goblet, and then you see how like the gold cup or whatever, or the chalice or whatever they call it. Okay, so it's sitting inside of this golden studded kind of thing or whatever, right? But if you think about it, you see that golden pedestal, you see the foundation, that would be like the root of it, the base of it, that holds it up, that's what is strong, that which is firm and solid and makes it be able to be used as something to drink out of, right? But if you look at that crown, right, it just gives you the energy as if something has been knocked out from underneath it. So then it also correlated with what we were just reading, and it said something about a bird, right, flying over, okay? Okay, and then, all right. Hold on. And then I was just looking at some imagery when it comes to French. It brought me back to something that I remembered that I had saw on Instagram that popped up in my feed, right? And it was this image of this girl right here, and you see on her hand, right? She has, on that hand that's got it over her mouth, right? There's that eagle right there. You see that eagle thing right there? And so that eagle thing brought me back to the emblem that I remember seeing linked with the allodial energy. And it's just bringing me back to so many different things, okay? And then the whole thing with the 7 crowns or the 7 horns or whatever made me think about the G7 energy, right? Again, because yes, I think that the 12 stars represent the 12 tribes, okay? When it comes to the ladder, okay? But I just feel like something is a lot deeper here. I feel like something is a lot deeper here, like I said. And I'm never trying to be like negative about anything. Like I said, I enjoy listening to all people. I enjoy listening to ideas in general. I enjoy, you know what I'm saying? I won't say that I enjoy people, because we got to be talking about something serious for me to enjoy some time. So again, small talk is not good. It might have been okay for me and I could kind of sit through it before, but now I'm just can't even sit through small talk no more and gossip and stuff like that. It just, I just want to talk about something real. I mean, it's just real stuff going on. So, and I can't talk to somebody at a distance, and I can't talk to nobody that I really can't understand what they're saying, and they can't understand what I'm saying. So, like I said, it's just that. I feel like there's a disconnect, and I think it's being done purposely. So people can say that they have run something by somebody, but they really haven't. You see what I'm saying? Like that. Right? Or we arranged a meeting, but you really didn't. Because you really, really. Could you imagine, like, if there was an important meeting, but somebody left out a small detail, so you ended up at the wrong address, but you're just sitting there and you're just like, dang, I wish this was the address, but, this part is not right, so this is not the right, it's something like that. So close. You almost got the thing, and then now you got to call back and try to find out on Monday or something, you know what I'm saying, if you get another interview, and they don't want to hear the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you didn't. That they didn't have the suite number on there or something. You see what I'm saying? It's just that. So you were just that close, right? So again, and some of this stuff I think is just being done to just make a mockery. Something to be talked about and laughed at. So that's just how I feel, like I said. That's just how I feel. But I'm at a point where maybe, like I said, I'm dodging a bullet in that way. Or in that light, maybe that could be it. And so I'm just listening to source at this point in time. That's the thing. And anybody that would know how you feel about yourself and how you carry yourself and everything would know that there would have to be like a legit attempt at this point in time. And it would have to be like something that could be, you know what I'm saying, nothing in secret or anything. I can't see it at this point. Because I don't even all the way feel all of my connections anymore. And it makes me feel like because I'm elevating to another level or moving on, excuse me, or I've learned all the lessons I needed to learn from them. And so now it's time to move on, and I'm okay with that. This is about growth, development, getting to know yourself in this new mindset and getting to know how everything kind of operates or whatever. But my thing is I refuse to roll over and act like I'm not making an attempt to get where I need to get. And the world is going to have to hear, and they're going to have to see me. It doesn't just end with my connection with Source. They're going to have to hear me. They're going to have to deal with me. They're going to have to see me. Right? And so I think that's what it is. Because sometimes, like, the most prominent, important people can be the ones that are, maybe some people may be intimidated, or it may be some kind of other something else around it. And so they keep their distance for whatever reasons. And like I said, it just, it's okay. Like I said, at this point with me, because, even it's a shame when you're at that point where even if somebody did offer you asylum, if you thought you were in danger in your own country or something like that, or something was happening to you, you couldn't even trust. I can't trust, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't even trust anybody that would be coming in and saying that I want to help you. See, so that's the radar has just, I don't know, it has changed for me throughout this, if that's one thing that it's taught me. And I don't think that should be a reason to hold anyone back from anything that they want to do. And that's what I'm saying. You just have to, gonna have to move differently or figure out a different way. But yeah, that's what I feel. I feel like somebody could pull up today and say, you know, we know who you are. You know what I'm saying? We know that this is going on. You know, we're taking you to a location, and I'll be looking at them like they damn crazy because, you know what I'm saying? It's that, and I think that that's been done purposely, right? So, you know, it doesn't mean that there couldn't be like some kind of negotiations or some kind of moving towards something like that. But for me, nah. Because again, I feel like I have been jailed to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? And so now you just want to let me out freely and just say, okay, whatever. Like, nah. And I do feel this energy, dude. I do feel this creeping energy of something big or a big something, you know what I'm saying, that is getting, that wants blood. You see what I'm saying? So, so yeah, I just wanted to put that part out because I thought, and that's why I like this Living Bible though, because the way that it speaks, like, oh, they just gonna let us out like that? Oh, no. It's almost like he almost wants to say, oh, hell no. And that's why we do it here, because I think that's what them people wanted to say back then. But they wanted to be politically correct, right? But yeah, so that's why I think I can relate to a lot of the stuff in this text. It's kind of weird. But then I have to also be like, dang, man, you know, that's why I worry a bit about, again, divine masculines, because again, like I said, they're out there, they're out and about, they have to deal with these people and things like that. Divine feminines is almost like they have to kind of they kind of have to use other tactics to access or get close to us. It's almost like, even when we're talking about courtship, back in the old days when, you know, it makes you think about it and go a little bit deeper with that too. Like, why couldn't the person be alone with the person? You see? And it's just like, it just made, even now. Was it really about different types of regulations or things like that? Or was it something else? I'm telling y'all, something is just weird. Something is weird where, you know, a woman couldn't even be in the same room or the same, you know, location with a man, you know, if they weren't married and if it wasn't her brother or something like that. So that right there alone, you see what I'm saying? Because I do look at some of these energies, like I said, I did at one point look at them as brothers, or do look at them as brothers, you know what I'm saying? Ups and downs, whatever. So and then sometimes, you know, I felt like it was just to give me the perception that that's what it was, and actually it wasn't. So, you know, excuse me. I guess it's just different every time. So, I don't know. But I feel like lately I've been a little bit more at peace, right? I've been a little bit more at peace, but I'm also, like I said, inquisitive and always wanting to be looking out. But then again, like I said, it's sometimes when you have to stop and start looking within, right? And I think that that's what Source is getting me to do lately, is to stop real quick and just start looking in a little bit more. It's kind of helping me. And just kind of listen to those trigger words and terms and things that trigger thought or promote thought. Because there's something there that is going to be exposed or brought to light. So yeah, that's that. So it's hard to even be there, you know, and then I'm like, no, I'm not going to let that happen, because I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to disconnect me from all of my divine masculines. They're trying to disconnect me from even my divine feminines, even all the people that are, again, that's the whole thing. Prisoned and beaten and done all this stuff in public, and then they want you just to kind of disappear from the scene. And again, because we're talking about the matter of life and death, I can't allow that. So I think that's why my team is kind of on me about changing up the narrative, but making sure I keep moving when it comes to what I'm doing, right? So again, hopefully, like I said, I'm going to sleep on it and see, you know, what else I want to talk on starting next week, because I want to start something where I want to, you know, maybe talk about these things and then talk about like something else, like a kind of like wrap it all up and sum it all up as to what can be done now, right? And even asking questions to others as to what should be done now or what could be done now, you know. So anyways, that's it, y'all. This video is too long. It wasn't even supposed to be this long, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. But it's just all about the whole, like I said, persecuting the holy ones or chosen ones. It's just basically generally right now, and how we have to be careful who we share our energy. And basically, I could have just said that, being careful about who we share our energy with and things like that at this time. So, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all already know that and sense that. So, but anyways, take care.